Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. These are inspirational words coming from the late Nelson Mandela. Hello there, thanks for joining us on another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Today is being observed as International Day of Education. The theme is Learning for Lasting Peace. There is much to come. Please stay with us. Once upon a time in a Caribbean island known for its rich culture and natural beauty, lived a group of people who were buried in piles and piles and more piles of paper. Papers spanning back to the start of time. Then came a bright idea, harnessing technology to work smarter and not harder. The government of Jamaica is improving its operations to serve citizens better. Many services are now available online, and there's more to come. The government of Jamaica, building a better public sector for all.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 24, 2024. April 1 has been officially set for the rollout of government's new road improvement program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave the update during a statement to Parliament on Tuesday. SPARK is the acronym for Shared Prosperity Through Accelerated Improvement to Our Road Network. The aim is to modernize secondary, parochial, and community roads over the next 3 years. Of the overall $40 billion budget, $20 billion will go towards the repair of main roads that require more than resurfacing and related infrastructure. The next $20 billion will be used to rehabilitate parochial and community roads, with half of that amount divided equally among the 63 constituencies. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says each member of Parliament will be written to with the specified allocation after an updated register of roads has been completed, outlining the accurate mileage of roads within each constituency. The National Works Agency, NWA, and the Ministry of Local Government will undertake this update, while the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, is tasked with facilitating a formal consultative process with residents.
Members of Parliament, through the CDF, will be asked to organize community consultation by Parish Council Division, with the active involvement of the relevant government agencies to include the SDC, municipal corporations, the NWA, NWC, and the JCF, as well as churches, schools, and businesses. These consultations aim to collect recommendations on the roads to be repaired and their priority order. I anticipate that this consultative process will conclude by the end of March 2024, presenting a prioritized listing of potential road projects organized by constituency.
The Prime Minister says he will update the House on the scope of work at later sittings. In the meantime, he says the establishments of agreements with stakeholders are being considered. Also coming out of Parliament yesterday, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has tabled the fourth supplementary estimates for the 2023-2024 financial year, which ends March 31. It reflects a $2.5 billion reduction of the approved budget.
The fourth supplementary estimates propose total expenditure of $1,091.8 billion, a reduction of $2.5 billion on the approved budget following submission of the third supplementary estimates. This reduction is mainly due to an estimated shortfall in revenues for the fiscal year as compared with the third supplementary estimates.
Dr. Clark says it provides for the reallocation of resources, adding that funds which cannot be spent in the remaining 7 weeks have been redirected. Jamaica's economic transformation has been hailed by the Financial Times as one of the most remarkable and radical turnaround stories in economic history. The details were published on Friday on the heels of a virtual mission to Jamaica by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The article highlighted commendations by the IMF on the country's continued ability to reduce debt, stabilize inflation, achieve record low unemployment, and foster growth. The IMF says Jamaica has built a strong track record of investing in institutions and prioritizing macroeconomic stability. This has allowed the country's response to recent global shocks to be prudent, agile, and supportive of growth. According to the fund, Jamaica's sound policy framework is supported by strong revenues and strict control of non-wage spending. Following Friday's meeting, the IMF and Jamaica have reached staff-level agreements on the second reviews of the Precautionary and Liquidity Line (PLL) and the Resilience and Sustainability Facility (RSF). Both facilities, which total over $1.7 million, were approved by the Executive Board in March of 2023. The agreements were subject to approval by the IMF Executive Board, which is expected to consider the reviews in February 2024. The completion of the review will make approximately $255 million available under the RSF. Work is underway to protect and restore the country's mangroves ecosystem through the launch of the Jamaica Mangrove Plus project. The project started late last year and will run until 2027. It is being implemented by the Forestry Department and aims to achieve the conservation of a minimum of 60% of government-owned forested wetlands and 20% of privately owned wetlands by 2062. The project will positively impact 400 beneficiaries directly and another 18,000 indirectly. It is being funded at a cost of approximately $9 million through grant funding from the Global Environment Facility and other co-financiers. Chief Executive Officer and Conservator of Forests Ainsley Henry describes the initiative as groundbreaking.
For the first time in our history as a country, we have taken deliberate and concrete steps to codify strategies and actions geared at guiding our efforts to sustainably manage and protect the wetland forests remaining in Jamaica.
Mr. Henry says the project was developed through a collaborative process with all wetland forest stakeholders and is strategically aligned with the National Mangrove and Swamp Management Plan. The Jamaica Mangrove Plus project is being carried out under three components: the National Mangrove Policy Strengthening, Mangrove Ecosystem Restoration, and Knowledge Management and Project Minority and Evaluation. Project manager Nicolene Whiteley says that between 2017 and 2021, there was a net loss of 16.9 hectares of mangroves, despite efforts to recover 2.7 hectares. But she insists that despite the environmental challenges facing Jamaica, there is hope.
A significant portion of lost mangroves in Jamaica is estimated to be potentially restorable. However, recent losses emphasizes the urgency of effective conservation and restoration initiatives to address the ongoing challenges.
The project aims to achieve this by making the necessary changes to policies, creating a more conducive environment for mangrove sustainability, and raising awareness among relevant stakeholders about the significance of mangroves. Strategies will also include creating and popularizing maps to illustrate wetland forests, proposing zones and areas under consideration for preservation and restoration, and developing a dedicated website to provide real-time updates on the status and management of wetland forests. There will also be designated areas for protection and rehabilitation and restoration of degraded areas. And finally, the Ministry of Sport has committed $300,000 in support of special athletes over the next 4 years. The pledge was made by Portfolio Minister Olivia Grange last week at the symbolic signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with Special Olympics Jamaica. The agreement is in support of the Special Olympics Global Leadership Coalition for Inclusion. Under the MOU, there will be increased collaboration between the Ministry and Special Olympics Jamaica to improve the lives of individuals with and without intellectual disabilities using inclusive education through sports. As for the $300,000, Minister Grange says it is to support the work of the coalition over the 4-year period. The Sport Minister says the commitment will include an advocacy role for the coalition and providing opportunities for the Special Olympics movement to have a platform for wide engagement. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
We were able to secure tablets, over 4,000 tablets for students.
Right now we have 4 honor investment advisors.
The year has been a highly active one and one that has definitely yielded good success.
Catch the full 2023 year in review for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade inside your favorite Jamaica Magazine program on January 25, 2024.
The Ministry of Local Government was active in 2023, and the results speak for themselves.
In 2023, we were able to meet a lot of our targets.
This administration is showing that local government has a critical role in the process of making Jamaica a developed country. We are a first world country when it comes on to providing for our poor and destitute in our country.
We were able to officially open the St. James, Westmoreland and Portland new wards, and this was in collaboration with our partner, the National Housing Trust. We would have completed a therapeutic park in Hanover. We did major repairs at the St. Thomas Infirmary, their administrative building, as well as the Trelawney and the Vineyardtown Golden Age Home. Additionally, we were able to open 2 night shelters in Trelawney and in Ocho Rios. We also completed renovation of the Clarendon night shelter. For 2023, Poor Relief has had an impactful year. We were able to award 48 registered poor persons, children who were very successful in their PEP, CSEC, CAPE, and at the tertiary level. We gave out $2.7 million in scholarships.
Our indigent program, since we started in 2016, has covered every parish in Jamaica except St. James. And we have been building houses such as this, giving hope to families, ensuring that there is a proper roof over their heads.
And in 2023, we were able to hand over a number of houses across the island.
In 2023, we were able to meet a lot of our targets as it relates to our infrastructure goals. This year, we're able to build and open 3 water shops. We did one in Commodore in Portland, then we did Myersville in St. Elizabeth, and in Manchester, we built the largest water shop we have built to date in a community called Somerset. We were able to complete in 2023 roads in every parish. We successfully completed the phase 1 of the rehabilitation of Savlamar Market in Westmoreland. We also successfully completed phase 1 of the Charles Gordon Market in Montego Bay. And here in the KSAC, we completed the Jubilee Market rehabilitation, the Rural Development Program, which has been one of the newest subjects under the ministry. And in fact, I would say it probably is our flagship program at the moment.
The importance of this program is to pay some attention to rural communities across the country.
We started out in Chambersburg in Hanover. We also went into Cheswick in St. Thomas and Banks in Clarendon. In addition to the roads and building indigent houses, we were able to partner with JSIF and Rural Water Company to do extensive house wiring in these communities.
2023 was an exceptional year for the Youth Summer Employment Program. Over 4,000 young persons were engaged. Young people were engaged using technology to collect data, data on street life, trade licensing, road mapping, among others.
2023 has been a great year for the Jamaica Fire Brigade. We would have gotten support and was able to conduct rehabilitation work at the Ocho Rios Fire Station, as well as complete phase 1 of 2 phases for the Anato Bay Fire Station. We would have completed the fencing of the Buff Bay Fire Station. Training was conducted over the period in fire safety inspections, emergency medical technicians, and we would have graduated 103 new recruits and added to our complement.
Local government as a policy has significantly changed the lives of our people by improving, developing institutions of national resilience as well as national advancement. Our efforts have set the stage for doing more.
The children are our future. Readers are leaders, and education is the key to success. The key to mastering a subject is by applying oneself. All it takes is dedication and perseverance to achieve that goal. We'll take a look at how these subjects can help you with that along your journey.
Let's go full steam ahead.
If you have the opportunity to get a STEM education, then you should, regardless of the field or the career choice. So even if you want to be a lawyer, the skills are transferable. So you still need to be a problem solver. You still need to be able to think critically. Employers are looking for graduates with STEM skills, with these 21st century skills.
Teaching future generations to think logically, critically, and focused on problem solving, all while grasping 21st century skills, is a challenge of a lifetime.
And the right policy to be put in place is to make sure that we are building schools that are going to be empowering our young people with science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
And of course, arts.
Because we believe that that is a space that we own and we can exploit for our economic and social development.
The new STEAM Academy being built at Dumby Holden in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, is not where it ends. STEAM is being infused in all aspects of public education, but the method modified to suit each environment. At the Alpha Primary School, a partnership with a private institution, STEM Builders Learning Hub, is expanding the aptitude and skills of children as young as age 6.
Little Einstein's program started in 2022, and it is out of the need to actually reach the students where they are at their different levels, and also to ensure that we start early. So this program primarily is for early childhood education institutions and for primary schools. So the program actually takes place once a week or twice, depending on the need. And we actually take the students through hands-on learning by them creating different things like robots, flashlights. So they're learning the theory, but they're also creating. Hi, I'm Cavell Hilton, CEO and founder of STEM Builders Learning Hub. We connect students to quality science, technology, engineering, and mathematics tutors, as well as resources, including our STEM activity box or science kits. STEM Builders Learning Hub started because we recognize the need to provide quality resources for students.
We have done helium balloons, an explosion, a flashlight, a glow-in-the-dark slime, and now we are building an air car.
I would love to expand the program to the upper school, especially as the children are moving out into secondary education. I believe they are now at that phase where they need to make a decision about their own professional development and also as innovators to create new jobs. So I am processing, putting it into the school. We just need to consider some of the resources we would need in order to do so.
One of the major benefits of enrolling children in STEAM education is the fact that it awards them the skills associated with the 4 C's of what is needed to excel in this 21st century: critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration.
STEAM education is very inclusive because it encourages students to do hands-on activities. And the kind of question that students are asked to answer, they are not given the answer, so they would need to think about it. It allows them to experiment if they are wrong. It also gives them the time to go back, think about what they did wrong and how they are able to correct it.
All right, so interesting story. Some years ago, my son is now an adult, he shared with me that he thinks school dumbed him, in quotes. When I spoke with him, he shared that he think he could have done much better, but the limitation of school caused him to do what was required, not what he could have done based on his potential. I was a grade 6 teacher and so was enthused about higher order thinking skills, and then I realized that for STEAM, it afforded children to reason at a new level and to think outside of the box.
As it relates to artificial intelligence, AI, I'm optimistic about the future as it relates to it. And knowing everything, you have negative and positive, but I think the approach is for us not to fear the technology because it's here whether we like it or not. And so my approach is to figure out how we can use it in our classroom in a safe way, and also for us to be able to not just be consumers of this technology, but that we try to also create things that will represent our perspective and our point of view from this side of the world, from a female, from a black person, from a Caribbean person.
We give our children a chance to be their greatest self. As Jamaicans, we see children by age and we say, no, I'm too young, you can't do that. However, what do we know? See a child as an empty slate, see a child as a blank computer. You input the data and look at what the computer will do. I believe that to an extent we have limited what they can, or we determine what they can do. Let us give them a chance to excel, let's give them the opportunity and watch them blossom, as I'm sure they will.
The goal of STEAM education is to foster the true innovation that comes with combining the mind of a scientist or technologist with that of an artist or designer and letting it work together for the greater good. So, how prepared are you in getting your child ready for STEAM education? It's already here. Get with the times and help put your child on the map with the skills of tomorrow.
Some people consider math to be easy, while others find it very challenging. Whatever the case may be, we all use math in our everyday lives, so it's important to become proficient at this subject. It helps to sharpen the mind and understand that every problem has a solution. We'll show you some ways children learn to do math in this next feature.
What is it, my daughter? All right. Let me take a look at it now.
Math can seem daunting, but there are a few things you can do to support your child at home. One area to look at is games. We all play games on a regular basis, especially children. And how much fun would it be to tie mathematics into the games they play?
There's a very interesting notion that is put forward, and that notion is the fact that the things that we are interested in are the same things that we seem to do well in. Now, if it is that around our interest there's also a heightened level of performance, or we seem to learn things much faster when we are in tune, it therefore becomes important for us to actually put emphasis on making mathematics an interest. Because once we begin to allow our students or our children to see the fun in math and begin to develop a level of interest, it is at that point in time you will find that they may learn the concepts much faster.
Arithmetic helps us in keeping track of time, conducting business, and making plans.
In reinforcing the math from home, we have to do a few things. One, you could, while cooking or baking, allow your child to come forward and to share the math concepts that they were exposed to in school. I'm sure while you're cooking something, your child can apply some measurement skills, some conversions, some looking at the beakers and so on. Additionally, we know that at times we do some amount of sorting and organizing. There's always a shelf somewhere to be packed, a cabinet to be reorganized, some things to be moved around. This is an opportunity to allow your child to use their spatial awareness, to be able to look at shapes.
Do you want to know what I do?
I find creative ways to incorporate the knowledge to them, because maths is not an easy subject, and most children will tell you maths hard, but it's something that they need in their everyday life. So I find creative ways to put it to them in fun ways that we both can enjoy doing it together.
Some of the concepts that I believe that parents could pay a keen attention to is the number concept, like the simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division.
You have to know at least the basics. I mean, we're not going to tell them about the algebras and the other areas which is a little bit challenging to them, but at least know to make change, know how to know the difference between distance and time and things like those. I'll try to encourage all fathers at least to know the basic about the concept of maths. For the primary student, you use whatever they like. Okay. If they like food, they use food. Divide up the pizza, show them how to divide it. If they like money, they're the children who love playing with money and love counting money, use the money.
Look at your child textbook. You'd see the topics based on the child age group, all the topics that they'll go through throughout the entire year. And you can also consult with the teacher and find out what topic am I looking at now, so that you can use all the online resources.
We have to find out what is the root of the problem first. Is it that you're not understanding, or you're not grasping as much as you're being taught? Then that much we need to identify what are the weak areas, what are the problems. Once we can identify what is the problem, then we can actually try and fix it from there.
So we're not supposed to be thinking with our fixed mindset that there's only one way, so the teacher is doing it wrong. We could be doing it wrong, we might never know. So we'll have to be open to the fact that we're not the only person with an opinion, or this is not the only way of solving that one problem.
Parents, I want to encourage you today. When it is that your child comes home with the math book and you realize that the approach that is being taken to deliver the content is not the same way you are used to it, don't throw it aside and say, no, that's wrong, or that is harder, that's different. You need to embrace the approach.
There is many ways to help. You don't have to help physically, but being there to sit down and to encourage the child, talk with them, or even while they're doing it, you look over and say, yes man, okay, try it this way. I mean, that is support.
Support your child and give them the push they need. In math, practice makes perfect.
Can you believe it? We're at the end of yet another show. But not to worry. Be sure to join us tomorrow on this same station for another that's just as good. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and more. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you that education is the foundation for a brighter future.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.